listening to Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by. On the morning shift.
Anything
could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
All right, good morning. Welcome, everyone, to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. Thanks for being with us. Glad to be here with you. We're live on CKLU 96.7 FM every morning between 7:30 and 8:30 a.m. And you can also stream us at cklu.ca. You just click on the Radio Player Canada app and you can stream us. You could also download that same app and listen to us anywhere, anytime on your favorite device. We're also streaming at facebook.com/Sudbury News and youtube.com/Sudbury News. Thankful for both of those platforms for allowing us to take this radio show / podcast to you. It's your show. It's your conversation on your station. And with that, make sure to like, follow, share, comment, subscribe. Mainly comment on the show because this is your show. And your comments, we'll do our best to read them on the radio, for the radio audience, that is. And for those that are watching, you'll be able to see your comments as well. So make sure to get on if you can. If you can't, well, there's many ways to reach us, listen to us, and also contribute to the show. So thank you very much for doing that. We know we have a great bunch of people that come on each and every day, and our listenership and viewership is continually increasing, and we're grateful for that. Thank you to the YouTube and Facebook moderators having a job to do, having to listen and watch, and also they have algorithms that pick up different words that are used and that are sensitive for some reasons unknown. But at the same time, they're doing their jobs. Their supervisors are asking them to do certain things, and so they have to do them. So my heart goes out to you, and thank you for the job you do. We're grateful for the platforms that you have that we're able to utilize and get the conversation out to as many people. And thanks for all those people joining us from all around the world, just checking into CKLU specifically, or for this show. We're grateful for you and hope that you're doing well and connecting with Sudbury, whether you're from here or you lived here before or you're just checking in. Welcome to the show as well. We're going to have a great day today. We're going to start off with some weather because weather is the news this morning. There is a extreme cold warning. We'll get to that and much, much more with a little bit of sports. And then all of your headlines today will be back right after this. So Sudbury weather brought to you by sudburyweather.ca. Currently it's minus 31. Feels like minus 43. Coldest day of the year so far. And apparently they say we could expect some of the same for tonight. Now there's an extreme cold warning issued from Environment Canada. Alerts for Greater Sudbury and vicinity. Warnings. Extreme cold warning in effect for Greater Sudbury. A multi-day episode. A very cold wind chills continues, and there's a hazard wind chill values of minus 40 to minus 45. The timing will continue throughout Saturday morning. So today and overnight into tomorrow. Wind chill values of minus 40 to minus 45 will continue. Temperatures will moderate during the day, bringing some relief from the extreme cold, but wind chill values will remain the same, and they're expected once again tonight into Saturday morning. For some areas, temperatures will moderate throughout the day. On Saturday, bringing the end to the extreme cold spell after Saturday morning. So we got this for a while. Risks are greater for young children, older adults, people with chronic illness, people working, exercising outdoors, working or exercising outdoors, and those without proper shelter. Watch for cold-related symptoms, shortness of breath, chest pain, muscle pain, and weakness, numbness, and a color change in fingers and toes. So cover up. Frostbite can develop within minutes on exposed skin, especially with wind chill. So let's make sure to check in on those that you think might be vulnerable. Just take care of those in your network, those that your loved ones, your friends, people that you know about, and do our part to make sure that they're safe and warm. So today, sunny. Wind becoming northwest, 20 kilometers, gusting to 40 in the morning. High of minus 24. Wind chill, minus 41 this morning and minus 34 this afternoon. Frostbite in minutes. Tonight, clear, increasing cloudiness after midnight. Then periods of light snow. Of course, we need some more snow beginning before morning. Wind up to 15 kilometers an hour. Low of minus 31 with temperature rising to minus 25 in the morning. Wind chill minus 40 in the evening. And then Saturday, which is tomorrow, periods of snow amount to 2 to 4 centimeters. Wind only 15 kilometers. High of minus 8 after the extreme cold that we're getting. But the wind chill in the morning will still be around minus 31. And then minus 13 as it warms up, if we can use the term warm with this weather, in the afternoon. Again, so then Sunday, chance of flurries, minus 3, 60% chance of flurries. And then Monday, sunny, minus 5. So Monday, sounds like it'll be a pleasant day, mild-ish, and sunny. You don't get many of those. Tuesday, chance of flurries, 60%, minus 1, but chance of flurries, so. Wednesday, cloudy, minus 2. Thursday, periods of snow, 0 degrees forecasted. Shane says, which I do agree, we could sure use some global warming right about now in Sudbury for sure. And I want to say good morning to David. And yes, stay safe and keep warm. I know there was an alert put out here in Greater Sudbury for homeless people specifically, but for all of us. Homeless Network of Sudbury declares an extreme cold weather alert because of this weather. So yes, stay safe, stay warm, everyone. A look at your satellite over northern Ontario and some of Quebec, some of Manitoba, some of the states. It's a lot clearer than it normally is. And that's usually the case when it is as cold as we are experiencing. So that's a look at your satellite over Northern Ontario. And that is your weather, brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. We'll be back with some sports and headlines right after this. All right, and so beginning with women's hockey, veteran Rebecca Johnston of Sudbury named to Canada's Rivalry Series final roster. And I believe that's what goes on at the All-Star game. But here's a beautiful pic of her winning the gold medal. So veterans forward Rebecca Johnston returns to the Canadian women's hockey team for the final 2 games of the rivalry series against the United States. The 4-time Olympian was among 24 players Hockey Canada announced Thursday to finish out the 7-game series with the U.S., currently leading 3-2. Johnston, who has won 3 Olympic gold medals, 2010, 14, and 22, with Canada, took a break from hockey last fall to rest from a back injury, 33 years old. From Sudbury, She's a forward who was hired by the NHL's Calgary Flames in a player development and community relations role. The last 2 games of the series, February 20th in Trois-Rivières, Quebec, which Hockey Canada has declared a sellout, February 22nd in Laval, Quebec. The roster includes 18 players who participated in the first 5 games of the series, including captain Marie-Philippe Poulin and Sarah Nurse, Brianne Jenner, Emily Clark, and goaltender Anne Renee Desbiens. Johnston, Nurse, and Clark will join U.S. forwards Alex Carpenter and Hillary Knight in the NHL All-Star Skills Competition tonight in Sunrise, Florida. So all you hockey fans who do watch the All-Star game, I'm a hockey fan. I don't always watch the All-Star game. I just find it, I guess the skills competition tonight, the game is actually tomorrow night. Canada's last rivalry series lineup was chosen by head coach Troy Ryan, director of hockey operations Gina Kinsbury, and player development manager Cherie Piper. Now, the U.S. has won 3 straight games in November to open the series before Canada countered with a pair of December victories. So this U.S.-Canada rivalry is always something to watch. And something that, along the same lines in women's hockey, Tessa Bonhomme was honored on Wednesday night's unfortunate loss to the North Bay Battalion. 5-1 was the final there. But it was a great opening ceremony with Tessa Bonhomme being honored, Rebecca Johnston's teammate, for one of those gold medals that they won in the Olympics. And also, tonight is a special night at the Sudbury Arena as well. Mark Stahl will be honored. He is the Florida Panther defenseman. He'll be in attendance to watch his jersey be raised to the rafters as part of the Wolves' 50th anniversary celebration. And so the Wolves will honor Mark Stahl and his hockey achievements throughout his junior and professional career with a special jersey retirement ceremony. The Wolves captain and OHL playoff MVP will see his number raised up to the rafters and retired with the likes of Randy Carlyle, Mike Foligno, and others. I believe Ron Duguay's name is up there as well. The first 1,500 fans in attendance will receive special Stahl jersey retirement banner rally towels. I'm going to say that again. The first 1,500 in attendance will receive special Stahl jersey retirement banner rally towels. I had to take a breath saying that. But anyways, be one of the first 1,500. You get a towel to commemorate the event. Friday's game, tonight's game, is sponsored by Auto Depot. The next game will be Sunday night, and it's Black History Night to honor and celebrate Black heritage and culture. So both of those games you can get out and see because they're both local, and it's always great to take them in, support our team, cheer them on, and take in the atmosphere and just have a great time for not that expensive an amount of money. It's a very cheap night out, and you won't be disappointed. So get out and support them. If you can't, get out. The game is broadcast right here on CKLU 96.7 FM, both tonight and Sunday. So we'll be back right after this with headlines. That's your Sudbury Sports Report brought to you by SudburySports.com. That is Randy Pascal. He's that Sudbury Sports guy, and SudburySports.com is his website. We'll be back with headlines and chat with yourselves right after this. Lots of news to cover today. All right, we are back. And we're, lots of news to cover for a Thursday. Today reminds me of like the Monday edition where there's just a whole whack load of news to go through. because of the weekend. It just seemed that there was all kinds of stories. So we'll do our best to get through all of them. And it's not easy sometimes. So let's just refresh. Oh, we got to do this, do that, and do the other. I just want to make sure I have comments up on the screen so I can see them. And then also make sure to comment today. And I'll do my best to get them up on the screen. And also say them on the radio. So with that, good morning, Monique. Thanks for being with us this morning. And believe this is Lem. Good morning. Freezing Sudbury. Yeah, exactly. I hear you. And so today we're going to be talking about the Sudbury teen. Well, we're just going through the headlines. Sudbury teen charged in downtown stabbing. Now, this is unrelated to the story we talked about yesterday, where there was a man wielding a knife the day before and was picked up by police. Apparently, he was stabbing the building looking for his daughter. Admitted that he was on substances which were causing that kind of behavior. And so, terrible. So anyways, this story here, I believe Sudbury.com also has it. And what we're going to begin with today. So a 16-year-old male youth is facing charges including aggravated assault after allegedly stabbing another teen in a downtown on February 1st. So that was on, so not yesterday, but that was Wednesday around 1:55 p.m. Officers were dispatched to the area of Elm Street in relation to a weapons complaint. Information provided to police was that two male youths were involved in an altercation, and one of them had stabbed the other. 16-year-old with sustained stab wounds was transported to hospital by paramedics with life-threatening injuries. And the suspect in the stabbing, also age 16, fled on foot prior to police arrival. Just after 6:50 p.m., officers located the suspect in the area of Notre Dame Avenue and Louis Street. He is placed under arrest, charged with aggravated assault with a weapon, and possession of a weapon for dangerous purpose. This is a targeted and isolated incident, and the two individuals involved are known to each other, said police. The suspect was held in custody overnight and is scheduled to attend bail court yesterday to answer to the charges. So again, right? Two incidences back to back in a row with knives. One day nobody was stabbed, and the next someone was stabbed. And so we ask this question again: should knives be banned, or should certain knives be banned? This is the question we're asking. Because obviously they're a weapon that can be used to fatally injure people. And so should we be trusted with knives, and should they be banned? That's the question we're asking today. And we'll keep asking that question, I think. Now, this is an interesting story here. It's also shared on our Facebook page. See where we can find it. Oh, it's way up there. Look at this. Retirement home food so bad, people are ordering in, residents say. Former federal cabinet minister Jody Erola was speaking with Sudbury.com, and residents are paying more than $5,000 a month to live there. So it's pretty expensive to begin with at the Chartwell Southwind retirement residence. But for 2 years, the food has been so substandard, residents were demanding action. Several residents in the retirement Sudbury home have voiced disappointment with the quality of the food served to residents. So in a letter sent to the management of Chartwell Southwind retirement residence, several of the clients said the situation is such that they're asking for a rebate on their monthly fees because many people are ordering food outside the home at their own expense. The letter was signed by Judy Erola and 19 other residents who have formed a food committee. She is the same Judy Erola that was once MP for Nickel Belt. and a former member of the Liberal cabinet headed by the late Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau. Over the past 2 years, we have made a number of appeals for improvements to the food served to residents here at Southwind Residence in Sudbury, said in the letter. Despite meetings and discussions and promises, nothing was changed. In fact, the quality of the food has declined. The food committee, made up of Southwind residents, said it decided to forward the letter of concern to Chartwell's head office. And the letter was addressed to the Chartwell CEO, Vlad Volodarsky. Vlad Volodarsky is the CEO of Chartwell. So hopefully he gets the letter, and hopefully they can resolve their concerns, and hopefully with paying $5,000 a month, you would think food would be palatable. Now, I know depends on the home you're in. Certain homes have better food than others, and it is what it is. But again, you would just hope it just goes along the lines of the kind of care we're getting in our long-term care facilities, and it's definitely it's not cool. And good morning, Jennifer. Thanks for being with us. We are going to have to do something about that. Now, I guess I could have included this in our sports segment. Devils associate coach Andrew Brunette charged with a DUI. So Sudburyan, New Jersey Devils associate coach and former Florida Panthers head coach Andrew Brunette was arrested earlier Wednesday morning in South Florida while driving home from a bar in his golf cart, authorities said. I didn't know you could get charged for a DUI driving a golf cart. That's news to me. But apparently it's true. It can happen. Brunette, who's 49, was pulled over just blocks from the ocean in the Deerfield Beach area north of Fort Lauderdale, according to the report by the sheriff. He was charged with 1 count of driving under the influence and 2 counts of disobeying a stop or yield sign. Brunette was released later Wednesday on a $500 bond. So he is from Sudbury, played 1,159 NHL games for Washington, Nashville, Atlanta, Minnesota, Colorado, Chicago from 95 to 2012. He was the Wild assistant 2015 to 16 and worked on Florida Panthers staff between 2019 and 22. So the Devils said in a statement that the team was aware of Brunette's arrest and gathering additional information. According to the arrest report, a deputy was in the process of giving Brunette's illegally parked golf cart a ticket around midnight when Brunette walked out of a nearby bar and told the deputy he was about to leave. The deputy said Brunette seemed unsteady on his feet and slurred his speech. And when he was joined by his wife, the deputy said he overheard the wife tell Brunette not to drive while the deputy was there. The deputy remained in the area and reported watching the couple drive away about 17 minutes later, according to the report. The deputy said he watched the golf cart run 2 stop signs before pulling Brunette over on a residential street about a mile from his home. Can you just imagine this, just driving a golf cart home and a policeman kind of following you? Now, under the influence or not, I don't know how dangerous to others he would have been. How dangerous to himself he would have been. I guess just being drunk in public, I guess, could be something. But and I guess if you're driving a vehicle on a residential road, you still have to obey the signs, right? So golf cart or not, being under the influence or not, you got to obey the traffic rules. So he went through a couple stop signs. Yeah. So he'll go through whatever he goes, whatever the processes are. But the Panthers fired Brunette after they lost in the second round in the playoffs last spring, despite him leading them to the President's Trophy as the league's top team during the regular season, which I guess isn't a related, story in terms of what he was arrested for, but in a sports kind of theme, that was kind of weird, right? Like being fired after you bring your team to be number one and have the President's Trophy. That's kind of weird. So I don't know. Maybe there's something to that. And we have a comment from YouTube and Miles. A few years ago, in a town in southwestern Ontario, a woman was charged under the influence driving a Zamboni on the ice in a small town arena. You got to be kidding me. Wow. I guess you're driving a vehicle, a motor vehicle under the influence. That does fall under the law. We drove our golf cart all over, Jennifer says. That's hilarious. So, yeah, golf carts can be driven. They're electric vehicles, right? So they are they'll still be around even after they ban the combustible engine in a few years in Canada. So everyone has got a golf cart out there. Maybe that's a smart thing to have. Okay, so other stories. We'll get to that one latest if we have a chance. A little bit of a deep dive. The non-emergency line 211. So this was interesting, I found anyways. And you have a gas one. Okay, a gas golf cart. Well, I guess you might have to get an electric one. Non-emergency help is just a phone call away in Sudbury. A non-emergency helpline telephone service 211 connects people to the community and government services to help. With a wide range of social needs at a time, they are increasing significantly as the government becomes having to, offer all of the services for the decline in services that we have and causing problems. So problem, reaction, solution. So there's a wide range of social needs that are increasing significantly. So a flag has been raised at Tom Davies Square in Sudbury to mark February as 211 month. Is it just me, or are there too many things going on this day, that day? So a day for people who wear glasses, beard day, microphone day, you name it day. We have a day for everything. I don't know. It gets overwhelming. And then all the days and months are taken up, a month for this, a week for that. And then they have to use the same one, the same month, the same week. Like it's, there's all kinds of themes. I think it's getting a little overwhelming. Certainly the financial burden that people are facing, and certainly access services as well. There are lots of questions. So people have been in their homes for a long time during the pandemic. So accessing these services are so key for people's mental health. The month is dedicated to raising awareness that non-emergency help is just a phone call away. There are a number of people struggling right now, whether it be requiring financial help. Oh, so you can get financial help if you call the line. That's just a joke, by the way. Or going to the food banks, mental well-being. And there are a lot of people and agencies in our community that want to help. And 211 is that connecting piece, said Deb McIntosh, councillor of Ward 9. 211 is the helpline funded by the United Way. When you call 211, you'll get a live person, which is wonderful. And that person will evaluate your challenges and your situation and will give you the information you need to resolve those challenges. Madeleine Sauvé, a community impact associate with the United Way for Northeastern Ontario, said, So officials say there are a wide range of needs the helpline can help with, from health and mental health, hunger, housing, disability sports, and newcomer services, among others. So I want to give this line a tryout. Maybe I'll tape some of the calls, because I have certain suspicions that, so if I need a house and I call it because I don't have a house that it helps with housing, to me, I think there's a huge backlog, and I don't know necessarily if that, they might point me to a service, but they'll just say, well, there's a huge waiting list. So I don't know. The number will point us to the right places, but I don't think we're getting a lot from those places it's pointing us to, or getting things from the places that 211 will be pointing us to, if you get my drift. I don't know. Will an organization be able to find me an apartment when there are no apartments to be found, or an affordable apartment, or a place to live for that matter if I'm homeless? Our services come from 150 different languages, comes in 150 different languages, and it's 24/7, said Sauve. United Way officials said in 2022, 211 helpline in Sudbury received almost 2,000 calls. The top needs were health-related, housing, mental health, and substance abuse. Yes. Again, I applaud the fact that we have a service that can direct us. I just hope that what we're being directed to, we're actually getting help. I just think there's too many holes in the system, too many cracks, and too many people falling through them. And I think that's the attention. That's where we need to put our energy for attention. Student presentation in Sudbury will go ahead despite board opposition. Remember, we talked about this before. There was a drag event that was scheduled to go on at Llewellyn in the South End. The past few weeks have been a bit of a roller coaster for 16-year-old Raha Mohammed, a Llewellyn secondary school student. And I apologize for the pronunciation of your name. Raja, more than likely. There you go. That's not even all that hard. Sorry about that. But looking at our comments here, a little bit of the story, first of all. A little bit of background. Okay, so the past few weeks have been a bit of a roller coaster for the student at Llewellyn. Says he's also the president of the school's student body and identifies as a member of the LGBTQ community. Says he had gone through the appropriate channels and was given the green light to host Courage Across Canada tour as part of the International Day of Pink. It's a presentation that features an anti-bullying message where participants share their personal stories, hosted by Canada's Drag Race Season 2 champion, Isis Couture, and competitor Suki Doll. It's the drag element that's made it a point of controversy. So it's not the messages, right? It's the drag aspect of it. It's not the messages that they're portraying. So, Mohammed told CTV News, we were told that we were approved and we had several months to plan. Then, out of the blue, we get a notice that it was canceled with less than a month until the event. It was a shock. I was confused. And upon asking, I was told it was too political. Mohammed immediately took to change.org with a petition calling out the board for its about face. In it, he writes, students from other boards were meant to attend the educational session without self-love, about self-love, and being your authentic self. He was shocked when he was told the event was too political. It tells me that my identity is too political, that I am too political, and that my existence is political, and that I think, how is it just me existing, just me wanting representation to see myself for my peers, for my community? How is that political? What makes it political? And I think it's just fear. It comes down to fear, Mohammed said. They're afraid of a minority of people complaining, complaining for various reasons. But the most simple thing is homophobia. That's the most simple thing. And just people are afraid. And that's the reason why it's counseled, according to Muhammad. The sad fact is that there is homophobia in the community, he said. I understand that drag is a polarizing subject, but we cannot pander to a minority of people when the student voice, the student body, parents, community has made it clear they support this petition. As of Thursday, there are more than 1,800 signatures to Muhammad's petition. Yeah, so they're hopeful that it'll still go ahead. I was very hopeful because I thought there was no way that the school would, after 1,800 voices, still go ahead and cancel it, he said. Clearly, I was giving them a little too much credit. They don't have to listen to us. I would expect them to. I would hope that they would. Maybe that's just my naivety. But if we're being honest, Rainbow District School Board, they don't care. Mohammed says the board has been inconsistent. So CTV reached out to the board, requested. So Charette said they receive many requests to host presentations or events each school year. Events must have an educational focus, the board said, and be appropriate for educational settings. We have not had the opportunity to review this request for its educational component. After facing a couple of delays, the two sides met Tuesday afternoon when Mohammed was told it would not be allowed on school property. Mohammed said the decision came as a slap in the face when he was told the event was too hypersexual. So Mohammed can't see how the drag element of this all-inclusive messages of being yourself, and what are the messages again? So anti-bullying, being yourself, the fact that the message is delivered through the means of a drag performance, that is different than having an event with messages of anti-bullying and being yourself. So the school does say they have other things already planned that do cover these topics already. And so I found a comment on CTV's Facebook page that was then taken off this morning. So I saw it and I said, well, I'll find it and then I'll share it tomorrow on the show. So some of the people commenting on our story about this says, sorry, but schools were meant to teach you developmental and technical skills, not ideologies. Your personal identity and expression are your business and not part of public education. When we have young people questioning the decisions of the school board, they are giving themselves way too much authority. So that was Pamela. Arthur says, thanks to the government, this generation of kids are going wacko, which has 2 likes. But anyways, those are the only 2 comments we have on our Facebook page. But I did go to the CTV one, and that video that was put by a drag person that performs in drag put up on the story and was later taken off. This morning I wanted to share it. It was gone. So I don't know why CTV would have taken it off, but here it is. And it's good to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. And I'd rather have someone who is in drag explain it, because I'm not the best person to do that.
I have no idea why you want drag queens to read books to your children. I have no idea. What in the hell has a drag queen ever done to make you have so much respect for them and admire them so much, other than put on makeup and jump on the floor and writhe around and do sexual things on stage? I have absolutely no idea why you would want that to influence your child. Would you want a stripper or a porn star to influence your child? It makes no sense at all. A drag queen performs in a nightclub for adults. There is a lot of filth that goes on, a lot of sexual stuff that goes on. And backstage, there's a lot of nudity, sex, and drugs. Okay? So I don't think that this is an avenue you would want your child to explore. They could explore dressing up at home like we all did, like all gay boys did. We all dressed at home and we had a great time. We had a great time with our girlfriends, putting on makeup, trying on clothes, things like that. But to actually get them involved in drag is extremely, extremely irresponsible on your part. And I understand you might want to look like you're with it, that you're cool, that you're woke, that you're not a Nazi, that you're not a homophobe, whatever it may be. But you can raise your child to be just a normal, regular, everyday child without including them in gay, sexual things. And honestly, you're not doing the gay community any favors. In fact, you're hurting us, okay? We have already had a reputation of being pedophiles and being perverts and deviants. We don't need you to bring your children around. So you keep your kids at home or take them to Disneyland or take them to Chuck E. Cheese. But if you need your child to be entertained by a big human in a costume or in makeup, take them to the circus or something. When they turn 18, then why don't you take them to the clubs on their 18th birthday? Because it's an adult thing, okay? So don't ruin your child's life and don't ruin us, because that's what you're doing.
Yeah, so I had to find that video myself, basically,
hey guys, if you like
because
smart, nuanced, left-right conversations and interviews.
So I had to find that video myself. Unfortunately, it was taken off the CTV Facebook comments for some strange reason. Not sure why, but yeah, I just thought, it's always good if there's controversial things to hear from someone who is from the side that feels that people are saying are oppressed, and there's someone from that. It's good to hear from that side, somebody who has possibly a different point of view as well. Because it seems like everyone's out there beating the drum and everyone's like, everyone thinks like this. It's like my daughter, when she was in school, said, everyone's got the new iPhone. That's why I need it. I'm the only one who doesn't have an iPhone. And then you actually go around and survey people, and 3 people have the new iPhone, but to her, everyone does because she doesn't have it. So it's good to find out from different sides. Anyways, so I wanted to share that. It wasn't on the CTV's Facebook page anymore. They took it off. And I'm not sure why. That's a question, right? Why would they take someone who is in drag, who is giving their side, but they leave up everyone who's beating the drum for it. So they leave all those comments up, but they take down the one from the actual community that is saying they're being oppressed with a point of view that's not the point of view that, the person in the story is claiming, which is both sides. So I took the same amount of time to read all the comments from Raja. Thank you. From Raja. So I took time to read their comments and make sure their voice was heard. And then there was someone from the community sharing their take and their point of view. And now you, who are able to, take that, can see both sides. And that's what I think is at the crux of journalism. Documentaries do a good job of that when they can show you both sides and then leave it up to you. What we saw recently from these particular story time drag events in libraries across the country, from what I saw from the media, was that there's a group of people who only have good intentions and there's nothing but good about it. And there's some people who oppose it for no reason, only a small group of angry people, and all of the right people overcame them and shooed them away, and it went ahead anyways, and everyone had a great time. Did I sum that up okay? Is that what our media, that was the storyline? right? That's the storyline you were given. They don't want you to hear anything else other than that. Or else you would hear both sides. You don't. Or they'll share someone's, one of the protesters out there, and then they show right away that, they're out of line. They're out of line for what they're thinking. Then they'll call them names. They'll say they're of a particular group that's egregious to Canadians, and they're either racist or homophobic, which was the term pointed out there, right? That's what Raja is claiming, that the school board is homophobic. And but is that true or not? That's a claim. But are they? Really? Do they have a point to say we just don't want a perverted type of sexualized entertainment bringing these messages to children? And in high school, you're still children, teenagers, you know what I mean? Or small children. So there seems to be a huge movement, from what I've seen, to really bring this into our schools and constantly expose our young people to this. And again, why? Why would you want to bring your uncle so-and-so, he loves being an alcoholic, into the school and get everyone to try being an alcoholic and yes, I am putting it in the same category as that, because you got to take almost anything, any category, and bring it in and say, I want to promote this idea to children. Promote any idea. So take anything. Do you get people who love knitting coming in and promoting their knitting? No, you'd be totally bored out of your mind with that, probably. But there's many people. What about bridge clubs? Bring that to the high school and promote bridge. But that's not being done. So, and there's reasons for it, because it would bore the living daylights out of you. More than likely, but it would be a very good skill to learn. For sure. There's so many points, way more points of teaching you how to knit or crochet than bringing in a drag event. Like, you're going to get more out of that than you would watching a drag event talk about, messages of anti-bullying and just being yourself. You don't need to have a drag event to do that. So this particular drag person likened it onto strippers and said there's a lot of bad things for children, even in their own eyes, and they are a drag performer. Right? Is the volume of my voice going up for some reason? I'm not sure why. It's like having porn stars coming for Careers Day. Yeah, exactly. So could there be some people who think, well, what's wrong with that? It's a career. You make lots of money. You choose to do it. It's your body, your choice. Nothing wrong with that. Why not have a porn star come in and demonstrate their career in front of everybody? What's wrong? Like, once you start opening up this, then you go, well, they can do it. Why can't we? It's happened for years. Like, as soon as you open the door for something, it then opens it up for so many more. You got to have a line somewhere. And today we don't know where the line is. We don't have a line. We can't agree on anything. Where's the line? There's no line. And then someone says a line, oh, you're this, you're that, name calling. So the name calling happens. And for some reason, it looks like the media is behind it. And I don't know why. What does the media gain by it? They are on the side of it. There's no doubt about it. They just telling but from the spin on the stories and then taking down things that oppose it. I really don't understand. What do they have to gain from it? I don't know. But what everyone agrees on in Sudbury are the roads. Sudbury's en route for slip to poor status in 2030. In advance of the 2023 budget deliberations, the City of Greater Sudbury issued an update on its asset management investments, which shows city infrastructure is still being underfunded. We talked about the most important things because the city is getting your your input for these budgets, and they're giving you till like February 5th or something. Go back to yesterday's show to see that, or just go online and find out. But 85% of what people are concerned with are infrastructure and roads. 85% of Sudburyans are interested in that. Not drag performances at high schools. Very few people. Very few. And so I think this is an important one, and our roads are, we've been known for our potholes for years, right? So do we want to drop the stigma? Would Sudbury want to be known for something else other than potholes? Maybe one day? It'd be nice. Greater Sudbury roads are on a path toward further degradation due to a funding gap, and are expected to drop from an overall fair, they're considered fair right now, to a poor condition by approximately 2030. This according to the city's latest update on its assist management status, which maps out both the condition of assets and the degree to which they are being funded. The latest annual total capital funding gap for various areas of municipal operations is at least $103.3 million, according to the latest incomplete estimate. Some areas of potential funding shortfalls, such as buildings and facilities, haven't been calculated yet. Some of the existing data relies on assumptions and outdated information, which future reports are anticipated to update and refine. Okay, so the municipal roads alone face a capital gap of $45 million per year to maintain them overall, just in their current state. The city's 5-year historical investment in roads is $35 million per year, and the annual need is $80 million. So the proposed 2023 budget earmarks $50.6 million of capital investments in road construction and repair to maintain the city's transportation network. The municipality's roads are currently classified as fair, with a pavement condition index of 49.8 out of 100. In my time in school, that would fail me by 0.2%. Following their current path of underfunding, municipal roads are expected to hit an index of 40 and become classified as poor approximately in 2030. Of the streets paved roads, 2% are very poor, 14% are poor, 28% are fair, 50% are good, and 6% are very good. So in Sudbury's roads, we have 6% very good roads. And again, there's all kinds of reasons for it. It costs a lot of money. I think there's been a lot of corruption in the paving of the roads in the past. Can I say that on air? Speaking again, that I think the city needs an audit. I think a lot of things could be found in there. Because it's a gravy train. If you're a politician and you give a contract to a friend who's got a construction company and they don't do a very good job, they know they're going to get the contract again in 5 years to do the very same job, the very same amount of money. This is going to keep rolling in. If they do a really good job, they're not going to get the contract again for many, many, many years. Do we know this or do we not know this? Can we say it out loud or can we not? And so an audit would definitely show these types of things. Transparency. Can a construction company still survive without unlimited contracts with doing a poor job on roads? I don't know. Is it viable still? I don't know. Maybe that's one way to keep construction companies in Sudbury viable. Maybe there's a good reason for it. I have no idea. But it'd be good to at least do an audit and find these types of things out. City needs to look for a way to be able to maintain and make our roads better. There is another article on our Facebook page that if you get a chance today to peruse, it was going to be our deep dive, but unfortunately our time, I believe, is far spent for today's edition of Sudbury News Talk. But there was a letter as a follow-up. I was going to go into it. Medically assistance in death for mental illness programs should be paused. And so any of you that are interested, someone wrote a letter to SudburyStar.com. You can read that. There's a link right on our Facebook page. So I hope everyone's able to stay warm and safe. Have a great weekend, even though it's going to be a cold one. And we'll see you first thing Monday morning at 7:30. Thanks for being with us. Stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU. We'll be back same time, same place Monday morning. Ciao, everyone.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.